Do you see those little people up there? That's at the top of Ubehebe Crater. Look at this. The camera doesn't give it justice, I'll tell you that for sure. Yeah, it's Ubehebe Crater up here at the north part of Death Valley. Interesting little story about this crater. It was formed, it's not a true volcanic crater in the sense that you think of magma coming up and volcano blasting off. But the way that it was formed was that magma was welling up from underneath the earth, and it met groundwater underneath, and it formed explosive steam, so that when it exploded, it ejected stuff for miles and miles around, basically 6 square miles, so 3 by 2 miles roughly. And you can see the effects of it, the dark ash and cinder and stuff. Some of it splattered over there. And when we get to the top, you can see some more. But it was a superheated steam that just blew out this whole crater. And the crater itself is about, officially it's about 500 feet deep. If you measure it from this end over here, it's about 700 feet deep. Like I said, it ejected stuff out 6 square miles. Just think about that. Just think of all this stuff. Just poof into the air and then out all over the other place. And the reason that this formed here, that the magma came up, is because it was coming actually through an earthquake fault. You can see this right here. So take a look at this. Don't know if you can see it here on the camera. Let me try and adjust it a little bit. But anyway, you might be able to see the difference between the yellow and the orange. That's bedrock, and it's where a fault line runs through here. So there's 2 different plates, so to speak, or 2 different sections of the fault. The north side of the fault and the south side of the fault. And that's how the magma was able to seep up through that fault line that extends down into the crust and then do its thing. You can maybe get another indication of it right here. In the midst of this volcanic ash, you can still see some of the leftover yellow of the pulverized bedrock that stayed here on this side. And then over on that side, you can get a little bit more sense of the orange that was on that section of the fault. The fault displaced itself, I believe, at least, I don't know, a couple hundred feet at least. 400 feet, that's right. The fault was at least displaced about 400 feet at one time. Let's go take a look at some more. Go take a look at the top, and then over to Little Ubehebe Crater. And while we're walking up there, the action of the magma hitting the water, pressurizing it into steam, and then blowing the top, so to speak, that's called hydrovolcanic activity, I think it is, hydrovolcanic activity. And these craters that are formed like that, there's actually a name for it. And the name is called Mars. Not Mars the planet, but Mars, M-A-A-R-S. So instead of calling it Ubehebe Crater, we'll call it Ubehebe Mars, right? Let's get up to the top. This is For every step you take, you go back a half step. Well, that was a bit of a climb from over there. But we're at the top here. And take a look at Ubehebe Crater from this vantage point here. And from this perspective, you do get a little bit more, I think, delineation between the two sides of the fault. The yellow colored sediment on the north side and the orange colored on the south side. And this fault, by the way, system is the fault that I believe helped develop the Cottonwood Mountains over there and back in there. With this section of fault going up in comparison to this section of fault dropping. And the fault being the mechanism by which the magma was able to reach its way up from the mantle and hit the water and do its explosive hydrovolcanic thing. So Cottonwood Mountains there to the east, we're looking easterly, northeasterly. The base of Tin Mountain here, I believe. And then there's also another Hebe crater. It's called Little Hebe, and it's just right here on the other side of this volcanic cinder plume. It was formed the same way. So Ubehebe Crater, I call it one of my other secret spots in Death Valley. Simply because even though it's on the end of a paved road, I don't think most visitors to Death Valley get up to this northern part of the park, especially with Scotty's Castle being closed and the road there for repairs due to flooding. But anyway, Ubehebe Crater, it's a nice place to come to, and instead of just visiting all the quote-unquote typical stuff, like around Furnace Creek and Badwater and Dante's View and Zabriskie Point, Artist Canyon and Golden Canyon and Mustard Canyon and let's see what else, Stovepipe Wells and the Mesquite Sand Dunes around there. Come up this way. Check out Ubehebe Crater. Especially check it out either early in the morning or down close to sunset, and you'll really get the magnificence of those colors. Oh, and speaking of sand dunes, the Eureka Valley and the Eureka Valley sand dunes are out that way. Not that white spot there, but out beyond there. The highest sand dunes in California. So, and it's it's like a 40-mile dirt road. Do I hear about another road trip? Huh. I guess we'll soon find out. It's pretty spectacular. And let me just show you the pictures. I can't do it any more justice than the pictures themselves.